Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on Silver Mountain, and welcome back to Torment Tides of Numenera. Now, we left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger halfway through this memory that we're investigating for our cast-off sister, Matt Keener. And, yeah, we're in a memory. She's just been trapped in this ball of shimmering energy, and we're going to find out what happens next. Do nothing. Paj gives you a slight knowing smile, then she activates the cipher she's holding in her hand and a thin beam shoots forth. The jack simply disintegrates. Now what? Now you wipe Matt Keener's mind. We release her and see if she finds her way home to us, where she belongs. That should be within your power, within Tash's power anyway. When the tides surge through him, he can destroy memories, the same way you used the tides to escape the sorrow in your mind. But for all you've become accustomed to wearing his body, you feel no special attunement to the tides, no sense of power over others' memories. In fact, within this mirror, you hardly feel the tides at all. Try to wipe her memories. Tidal affinity. You have no idea how to wield the tides as Tash would. It's not a power that resides in his body which you've stolen, but in his essence which you've shunted aside. You can only try to achieve the same result by guesswork. You focus your mind and gaze upon Matt Keener, willing a way to wipe her memories clean. Matt Keener meets your stare and her eyes have a clarity and half vacancy that you've seen, that Tash has seen before she kills. She's past anger now, and come to cold revenge. But whatever wishes lie behind your gaze, nothing happens. You cannot cause a tidal surge through the Merecaster. You cannot wipe her memories. Paj looks at you impatiently. This is not a time for dallying or playing games, Tash. We need to leave before the Sand Knights finish the villagers and turn their guns on us. Fine, I'll do it. Success. Though you are not entirely sure how Tash has wielded the tides in the past, any bluff will need Matt Keener's help to work. You approach her and stand so that your faces would almost touch, but for the energy field between you. You close your eyes and contort your face with unexerted effort. Whether your pantomime is convincing or Paj simply cannot contemplate such a bold ruse, seems whispered to whether she reads your lips or intuits your intent, Matt Keener does her part. First she goes rigid, then her face becomes a rictus of agony, and then she slumps as if drugged. Against the energy field it bulges slightly to hold her upright. Good, says Paj. Leave her. We'll see if our lost Tremulin returns to the flock. She turns to the battle in the village below. Neither side has the upper hand, and between the monstrous hill people and the cornered knights no quarter is given and no effort is made to avoid collateral damage. It is carnage, no more, no less. It's time to go home, Paj says. The airship awaits. She leads her bodyguards away, plainly expecting you to follow. Follow Paj onto the airship. You stand with Paj at the prow of her airship, looking down at the convulsing village. The Sand Knights, the 30 or so still standing, finally have the upper hand. They move in a defensive square, hurling burning brands into any building that's standing, and unleashing a fusillade on whatever emerges. Only a few of the monstrous hill people still live, skulking in the smoke among the rubble. You can see them from your vantage. Perhaps they'll kill more Sand Knights before the battle's done, but whatever the final tally, it's clear that Colne Village is gone. On the hill, trapped for now in the energy field, Matkina, her mind and life saved, her will to revenge unabated. Page's face is stoic as she looks down from the from the ship. Perhaps without your preternatural eyes, she can avoid seeing the individuals ground up by her gambit, and can see only a strategic point and the numbers it represents in the grand strategy. Or perhaps she has simply learned to set an example to her subordinates in the militia. She sees you staring at her and gives a small smile, a generous one, if it's real, devoid of irony or cruelty. I'm proud of you, she says, and then she walks away to her cabin to plan some new battle. As she does, Tash's body slips away. His mind lets go of your own. You're falling through space once more, through space and time, falling homeward. As your consciousness rises from the shadow of the mere, something clicks in your mind. Something has changed deep inside you, but what? Matkina stares at you, the shock painfully obvious her face. What? What did you do? I remember Tash cutting me. I see the holes in my mind. I remember him forcing me to the ground, tearing out my history with his tides. But I have other memories now. They're real. Tash didn't do it. He could have, but he didn't. He saved me, boarded the vessel and didn't touch me, didn't violate me with his mind, but I remember him touching me. The two strands of memory, this is pulling me apart. No, it's pulling me back together. I remember now. That hole is almost gone. You changed reality. You changed it. She stands, drying her tears with her sleeves. I don't know if you meant to do that, but you've done more than your part of the deal. You asked about the resonance chamber. I know it. Mazov's the guy you want. He can fix anything. He might have even helped design the chamber you're talking about. Your best bet is to look for him in the cast-off sanctuary of Vest. There's a cast-off sanctuary? It's a sanctum, a refuge, created by the First and our sire. It's shielded from the sorrow, supposedly. She shrugs. Our siblings like to hide there until they can't stand each other's company anymore. Personally, I don't think anywhere's safe from the sorrow, not even that place. Can you take me there? I could use your help. Too much of a crowd with you already. But I'll show you the way to get there. Word of caution. They won't believe you in Vest. They'll treat you like they treat every new cast-off, as a pawn in their games with each other. Look out for that. She walks to a table and rolls a map of the Sagus Protectorate. You're not going to find it by walking there. The entrance is secret, known only to our kind. Here. The Valley of Dead Heroes. There's a hidden portal in the necropolis. Also memorize this. She writes the numbers 3431 down on a slip of paper, holds it in front of your eyes for several seconds, then crumples it in her hand. It's a code. It'll make sense when you get to the necropolis. You'll need an airship to get to the valley. The ladder over there leads up to the caravanserai. You should be able to hire a ship without too much difficulty. Thank you. Can I ask you something else? I'm investigating murders in the Underbelly. Someone said that thought it was your work. Who said that? Him? She jerks a finger at Tibir. I hope you're not taking forensic advice from this gallow glass. I know his reputation, if not his person, and I wouldn't trust him. I have no idea what I've done to offend such an estimable person. And I made no such suggestion. I am simply accompanying my friend here. Out of the goodness of your heart, what I've heard about you, that seems unlikely.
Making a note.
I haven't killed anyone in the Underbelly for years. There's no money in it, no fear. I've got style, a reputation to maintain. But if you found any clues at the scene, let me know. I admit I'm curious about who would do it. Circles containing Children of the Endless Gate, a splinter sect of the Dendra Ahur. Both of them gifts to the world from our beloved siblings. The Dendra are mostly harmless, disgusting as they are, worthless as their creator is. They have a chapel in the Underbelly. Go talk to them. Okay, so I need to go and talk to them about the Children of the Endless Gate. Okay. What's the story with you and the other cast-offs? You were in the Mere, you saw what happened. I wanted to make a difference, and they pissed on my hopes. The conflict between the First and the Changing God swallows all our siblings, one way or another. I didn't want that. I wanted to make my own way. They weren't pleased, and here I am. No worse for the lack of their company. Who's the first cast-off? She was, or she claimed to be. She's dead now. She said she'd fight for all of us. They say. She said she was the one that founded Mielavast for our sake. Most of our siblings remember her as a hero. Most of them never actually knew her. She was driven, I'll give her that. Even with her decaying body, with all its hurts and wounds, she found masks to cover herself and strength not to hurt. She kept ploughing on. What can you tell me about the Changing God? Brilliant, charming, ruthlessly self-centered. More blood on his hands than I'll ever have. Legend says he wiped out the Tabat. Nearly complete genocide. He left one alive as an object lesson. One of their generals enslaved in the city to teach his enemies not to cross him. Okay. How many cast-offs are there anyway? Hundreds. Who knows? Supposedly the Changing God went to other worlds, bent time and space, slipped through dimensions, and he always had his spare bodies with him. There could be thousands, millions for all I know. Okay. Tell me about this place. It's the Cave of Last Words. It was a thieves' hole until the tunnel leading in collapsed. 500-600 years ago, it was where the scum of the city would slip away from the city guard. Before there were the levies, before the slave families, the truly desperate lawbreakers fled here when they had no other options. That's the suicide tunnel. The words of the cave wall on the cave walls, though, are the final words of people with nothing left to lose, etched into the bedrock of the city, burned in and burned out by the hopeless. A fitting metaphor. If you question the worth of your life, these terminal thoughts are instructive. For a long time, they helped me hang on. I almost wrote my own words there many times, not that diving off a cliff would have ended me. And then there's the ledge at the end of the tunnel, just in case those words are inspirational. The view is also quite nice. Okay, so how did you find this place? I listened to the stories of old thieves. I went to the Bloom and listened to the stories of Chilla. I made friends with the Stitcher and I asked if they knew about the place like this. Turns out they did. Okay, so if I want Matt Keener to come with me, which I kind of do, then we need to ditch someone. And yes, Tibir has quite frankly been nothing but a disappointment. And so, I'll be taking that. Be taking that. Taking that. That's all of his own. Okay. In which case, I'm going to send Tibir away. Only need me, I'll be at the caravanserai. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. But I kind of want my sister. I kind of want to Matt Keener with us because I think she has more useful information from her long life. Will you travel with me? Nothing here that requires my immediate attention, I suppose. Fine. Thank you.
You need me?
She is very pale, isn't she? But we leveled up again, so let's get ourselves some extra edge first. We seem to be using an awful lot of intellect, more so than anything else, so I want some more intellect there. So that's good. We're still negatively affected by stuff. But what's she got? She's weapon infused. She's a jack. So we got rid of one jack and we've replaced it with another jack. So that's fine. She's trained without armor, so she's more resilient if she's not wearing armored stuff. She's just wearing clothing. When she's hidden, cast off vitality, never gains a lasting damage. Oh, that's cool. She's useful like that. All other party members gain plus 5% on deception and stealth tasks, and she has a warp dash. Apparently, that's cool. I'm glad that we've got her. Actually, what's her inventory like? So she's got light melee. Can we? No. Okay. Well, what we can do though. Hold on. Is she? What is she? What can she use? Use light weapons. Okay. So that's a light ranged weapon. What's her current dagger like? Her current dagger does more damage than the charged shard that we've got. So we'll leave her with that for now. But hold on. Where's... I thought we took his sword and... Oh, all we did was move it to his inventory, didn't we? We didn't change it to someone else's.
I have seen you die in countless
realities.
Should we add another one to that list?
What did you just say?
I don't know where that threat came from. We're friends in this world, yes?
Are we? Don't worry. It was refreshing to hear you speak honestly.
Oh, we've got stuff to steal. So apparently Calestige is having a little bit of a crisis at the moment. So that's the...
Alright.
No. Let's not go jumping down there. Okay, so we've got that. We got anything in here? Ooh. Father Teller, oddity. Handheld mirror. Okay, let's take a look at what that is. That sounds interesting. Polished disc looks like a handheld mirror, but anyone who looks into it sees an image of their father or their species equivalent, looking back at them, mirroring their every move. When you hold it though, all you see is your own face. Because changing God, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's cool. Okay, so is there anything else? No. And then that's the way back down. That's the way. Oh, this is the way.
Child.
This is the suicide tunnel.
On it.
Should we just have a peek out here? Like, I don't know if this will actually lead to the caravanserai or if it will lead like into the same area but like off to the side. So we'll take a look. Maybe there'll be like something that we can.
If you want a job done right.
Okay, well we can. That's interesting. At least we can wander around out here. Maybe there's something to do with that later. Maybe prevent a suicide or something. You know, wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so let's head back up. So we need an airship now. Send the ladder. Yeah, so we now need an airship to get to Miel Avast. Or Avest. So that's cool, but so we need to go and talk to them about their thing. We need to seek passage, but we also need to deal with that guy. So, but first, okay. So let's go and because these imagine if we'd gone and done the main quest and found Matkina earlier, then we would have saved Crooked Keek and Menthapar? Whatever the second guy's name was. Oh well, that's fine.
I'm ready.
Such is life. It just means that we'll have to go and see how things are, and then we've actually got some cash on us. So before we go and do anything else after this, we'll have to go and get some rest or something. But hey. Oh, Calastige leveled up as well, apparently. So let's. I don't really care for new abilities, but let's upgrade her Onslaught, because that seems like a really useful thing to do. So I need to make more use of her dimensional superposition, actually, because it gives her extra damage. But okay. Dendro, her chapel is up here.
I'm ready.
Excuse me. But yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking how expansive it's taken the stuff that was already in the games, it's taken the world and all the rest of it, and they've applied it very directly. And they haven't just done a little bit, they've put in a substantial amount to kind of run across with. I have some more questions. Tell me about the Children of the Endless Gate. Smile falls from Mbitu's face. I hope you are not asking for the reason I think you are, he says. They began to branch off the Dendra Ahur that was more impatient in their appetites. His lip twitches like memory of a snarl. Years ago, my sisters and brothers and I chased them from the city and erased their names from every record, or thought we had. Perhaps, no, this is the first time I've spoken of the Endless Gate in years. They cannot possibly be involved. Could their twisted beliefs have somehow infected one of them? Impossible. I have evidence that the Dendra are involved. Can I...
I'll remember that.
Oh my, I suppose you have my permission. Do be gentle with them. If they deserve it, of course. Do you think any of the other Dendra are okay? Murder? Certainly not. Well, they do come and go as they please, hunting for bodies left in the gutters like broken leaves. The Devourer of Wrongs was standing vigil these last few days, but any of the others could be responsible, I suppose. Which of your acolytes might be capable of murder? Okay. All of them have their secrets. Is quite willing to share her hopelessly barbaric but quite marvellous philosophies if you press her hard enough. Kiyatawa holds her secrets close, but plays with her hair when she's hiding something. And our dear Mallet cannot seem to abandon his grudges from his old life. Okay. So the Devourer of Wrongs is there, and he was holding vigil because he's seemingly the lawkeeper of the lot. If I remember correctly, this guy was the one who was a little crazy. Welcome back, young tenderling, she croons, singing to a tasty child. I can ask you. Her eyes slowly glow with humour, but flicker first to the leader of the Dendra Ahur. He nods. Ask your questions, tenderling. Murder? How can it be murder with no body? What do you know about the murders? Oh, tenderling, you use the wrong word over and over. There is no murder if there is no body. This was... She uses a word you do not recognise, a gruesome combination of clicking teeth and growling consonants. And so nothing was lost.
Making a note.
We do not know who is responsible. Kiyatawa and Mallet sneak about during the night. They swallow their secrets. They are Dendro who to serve their power and hunger, not to honour dead, not for... She uses the word again, snapping her jagged teeth with great satisfaction. They are not capable of such kindness. Why is he so interested in a soul that was not lost? Very strange. What is it? Is that word that you used to describe murder, that clicking, growling word? Word? Oh yes, your language does not have the word, so we use our own. We know of murder, of course. To leave a body to rot is to say that the soul inside is not worth keeping. This we punish. This decision is not for anyone to make. The word we speak is the opposite. On my world, when one of us dies or is killed, we eat their flesh and take their souls into our body. We feel the light of them reach our corners. They becomes we. You understand? I see. You only think it's murder if the murderer doesn't eat the entire body. Yes, you understand. This murder is no murder. We know the details. The skinned hand is a skinned hand in blood circles on the wall, making a tisking noise. Tenderlings play with their food. Perhaps your murderer is young. They do not know. They should finish the hands, strip the memories of hard work from the tendons, crunch the bones, slurp the blood from the floor. Tenderlings. Perhaps the tenderling that things that perhaps this tenderling thinks what I do is murder. He is wrong. Okay. So these two then. We never said that. They kill, but they do not honour. They do not understand who they are. Okay, then how about the children of the Endless Gate? We know it, but we are not sure. We are not sure how. Yes, bloody circles left on the sides of junkyard dwellings outside the bloom, in shadows. Beware the Endless Gate, little woman. The people of that community say, it still makes us laugh, such sweetness. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't think it's her, because she seems a bit too fanatical. This one, Kiyatawa wanted to leave, because she was like another... Yeah, she says, looking over, nods. Good. Have to say I'm not surprised the murderer's trail led you here. What do you want to know?
Making a note.
Do you have any idea who the... No, she says, resting her hands on her hips. But remember, she plays with her hair if she's nervous. But I've seen what they left behind of Fulsom's boy, a mess. Blood on the walls and floor, no body. She flicks a strand of her hair out of her eyes. That's the kind of death you see when someone's sending a warning or holding a grudge. I saw it all the time, but the sight of the warnings... The circle's not a warning, it's a sign. Okay. Why do you think someone killed Fulsom's protege? Why? Why? This is someone Fulsom cared about. He has a lot of enemies. Why do you think? Okay. So, do you know anything about the Endless Gate? Nope, never heard of them. Okay, are you sure you've never heard of them before? Shakes her head and looks confused. Okay, fair enough. And I'm not hearing any thoughts that suggest that she's lying to me, so there's that. I want to know your opinions of the other Dendrohur. Ha, alright. Don't expect me to hold back. Okay, what are your opinions of Mbitu? He's lived too long. Maybe the Dendrohur was something once, but he's just looking for his next meal now. And the rest of them are following his example. Okay, so how do you feel about Mallet? He likes hurting people. More than that, he's proud of it. She runs an angry hand through her hair and lowers her voice. I'm not sure, but I think he's been killing rivals from his old life and eating them. I know he killed. He probably ate too. Why wouldn't he? Okay, what do you think of Gyeze? She used to be worse than she is. If you haven't talked to her yet, you'll see what I mean. Maybe all those corpses she's eaten on her own are bringing Sagus into her head, civilizing her maybe, but that just means she's a predator who knows the mind of her prey. She's a monster. Certainly she's murdered to eat. Why wouldn't she? So I don't think it's I don't think it's Kiyatawa because she said that she wanted to leave. I don't think it's Gyuze because she's too fanatical and she seemed confused in her head. What you want, Schulmeet? Gave me permission to talk to you about this. Is that right? He says, glancing at B2, gives him a small nod. Yeah, alright, ask your questions. For all the good it will do you. Did you know Weedle? Huh, yeah, I knew him. Glad to hear he's dead. He was smart and knew it. Always looking down on the rest of us. Always ordering people around with Fulsome looking on, smiling. But if you're thinking I chopped him, I didn't. I was getting drunk in the corner of the manufactory, wondering what all the screaming was about. Damn uppity lacknibber. I should have been Fulsome's man, not him.
I'll
okay.
remember that.
You know who you should ask? Kiyatawa. I saw her hunched over some corpses in an alley all by herself. Doesn't matter what the meat is. People who eat on their own always got something to hide. And Gyuze's one to watch too. She ain't like you or me. She's a mutant. And not one of the nicer ones. And everyone eats on their own. Everyone's got something to hide. Who do you suspect again? Oh, okay. I want to talk to you about your eating habits. Is that right? He says, scratching one of his sharpened teeth. Not much of a mystery there. I eat people. I like it. He shrugs. If that doesn't answer your question, go on and ask. Okay, so
Making a note.
you've been killing people. She said that? Shoots a dark look at Kiyatawa. Yeah, alright, but not people. It was just the one. Someone. Yeah. I ain't gonna give you a name. Who stole something from me once. The fact that you ain't here asking about him means no one misses him. You sound like a man who with a lot of grudges. Sure you didn't decide to settle some with Fulsome? You must think I'm an idiot. Sometimes grudges pay off, right? Make you feel good, right in your gut. But no one ever gets the better of Fulsome. Even if I kill every one of his proteges, and I'm not saying I killed even one, the man would have me skinned and hung before I dropped my club. Settle grudges? Sure. Settle grudges with Fulsome? No, never. Okay, are you sure you haven't killed anyone else since you joined the Dendrohur? Yeah, I'm sure. His usual smile, however, is missing. Okay. Doesn't eating flesh bother you? Bother? No, bother ain't the right word. You think you're going to mind the taste, but you don't. The part I don't like is that memories from the person you eat end up in your head. You can't make them shut up. The four of us ate this scholark. Not a fancy one, but one with old robes. Kiyatawa was talking about some word she kept hearing after. I didn't get a word. I saw a memory of when he was picking out. Sorry, I saw a memory of his when I was picking him out of my teeth. He was lying in bed, dying maybe, waiting for his son to come see him. His eyes kept closing, and his son never came. Not that I saw anyway, and that's from just one meal. They get in my head, make me forget who's me, and B2 says it gets easier, but his eyes flicker away from you, and for a moment you see the fear in his eyes, the helplessness. Okay. Why do you eat corpses if it troubles you so much? It doesn't trouble me. Just ain't easy. But it'll get better. Look at B2. He's been doing this a long time. You glance at B2. The Earth gives you a huge rotten grin. Okay. Let's talk to Kiyatawa again, considering she's been... Mallet says he caught you eating a corpse on your own. Yeah, maybe Mallet should mind his own business. Sure, it's true, I don't like being down here more than I have to, alright? I barely even sleep anymore. Keep getting the feeling that they're waiting for me to die, wondering what I'd taste
I'll remember
like.
that.
not too long ago, I found a corpse in an alleyway near Circus Minor, and I didn't see why I should share it with this lot. That's it. No secret, no scandal, and since Mallet thinks he can share my hunting with strangers, maybe you should ask him how many corpses he's found on his own, or if they were actually dead when he found them. Okay. Let's do that. Have you ever heard of something called the Endless Gate? No. Strange name though. If it don't end, it ain't much for gate, is it? It's more of a hallway. Yeah, it makes a valid point, I guess. Tell me what you think of the other members of your family. Family? Heh, good one. I'd trust my brother over this bunch, and he tried to cut my throat when I was 5. Go and ask your questions. Okay, so what are your opinions of B2? He's alright. Got half the city scared of him, and the other half bringing him meat. Not bad for an old man who smiles at everyone and never raises his voice. I hope to be half that feared when I'm done. More than half. Okay, so what do you think about... Gizeh's a monster. Less than human, and more than a beast. I've seen her take a corpse's face off with a swipe of those claws and tuck it into her mouth like pan bread. Didn't stop until the body was gone, down to the last drop of blood. Talk to Gizeh if you want, figure her out. Me, I keep my distance. Kiyatawa. Something's wrong with her, and I ain't stupid. I know how that sounds coming from me. Just something's broken in her, and it's always getting worse. You feel eyes on you, glance around to see Kiyatawa look away. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I want to talk to you about more things. Let's talk about your eating habits again. No? Let's talk to B2 again and see what's up. Ah, a restless corpse. Such curiosity. I want to talk to you about things in the... Where were you when... Ah, I have quite the amazing alibi. Is that how you say it? Alibi? I was with Folsom the entire night. He can tell you as much. It may not have been entirely legal what we did, but it wasn't murder.
I'll remember that.
I promised Folsom I wouldn't tell anyone how he helps with things. You'll need to ask him if you want to know more. So as you can see, I'm beyond suspicion. For one thing, the priest was already dead. Spoken to all of you. I think I know who the murderer is. Ah, good. Were this decades ago, I would handle the investigation myself, but I am perhaps a little past my prime. Bring your suspicions to Folsom. He will take the correct actions. He always does. Let's talk to the Devourer of Wrongs. Let's see because if he was on... This one looks familiar. Some mind, in my mind, once knew him. B2 says I can ask you about the murders. Good. I would have the murderer caught, and caught quickly. It angers me that all of this transpired while I was attending to Riss. I assume you are here because of one of the Dendro is suspected of being the murderer. I will tell you what I know. I have known B2 through many minds. He is subtle, clever, and untrustworthy. He is also no murderer. That leaves the other 3. They are all capable of the crime. Mallet is ambitious and desires revenge. Kiyatawa sneaks plots and keeps secrets. Gizeh is not human and does not define murder as we do. Talk to them. Search for holes in their stories. These will lead you to the truth. Which of the Dendro do you think is responsible for the murders in the Underbelly? They could all be murdered. Question them. Okay. Well, hold on. Let's... So, I don't think it's Gizeh, because... Although so far she's the only one... junkyard outside the Bloom, but not yesterday, not last year. Time ago. And the circles appeared no more. Perhaps the ones who drew them moved on. Okay. Gitawa, right. You sure you don't know? He frowns, I told you. Okay. So now this is interesting.
Yes.
Okay, let's go and talk to Fulsome, because potentially in making a choice there might be additional dialogue options to help. Because Kiyatawa said that she wanted to leave the Dendrohur. You had where is he? Right. Gizeh, I mean, none of these people are necessarily connected. So but Gizeh seems to be completely content to... Makina, you will tell me if you know anything about this murder, and if you are responsible, you will reveal the name of your employer now. You know me better than that, or should. Should I? Very well. Lend your expertise to the task at hand. Makina, find me the killer. I suggest you try your hardest. Mbitu says he was with you when the first murder occurred. Is this true? Yes. He does not elaborate. Okay. I've discovered the Children of the Endless Gate may be involved in Weedle's murder. Interesting. Mbitu told me the group had been crushed long ago. I would count it as a favour if you continued your investigation. Speak with... Okay. Called the sect an infection once. Perhaps they've relapsed. Okay. Know who the murderer is. Do you? She wanted to leave. She seems completely content to do whatever, because even she chided over the leaving of a hand. Yeah, so I don't think it's her, because the tenderling was wasteful and didn't learn all they could. Kiyatawa doesn't know anything about the symbols on the wall, and she seemed to be quite upfront with us. She played with her hair once, but that seemed to be nervousness about potentially being taken by Mallet. Mallet wants to be feared, though. So that hardly surprises me. The man worked for me, but it ended badly. Perhaps the murders were his way of punishing me for stunting his ambitions. Perhaps he simply wished to hurt people. No matter, my people will speak with him and discover his reasoning. Signals his bodyguards. They slip from his side and flit towards the Dendrohur flat run. Mallet proved resistant to our questions. He declared his innocence with some passion, but we are satisfied that he is responsible for this carnage. He has been hanged. Never said anything about a hanging. No, I did not, because it was none of your concern. The Underbelly does not live in the light. It is not subject to the laws of the mighty. This is not your home, Godling. In hours or even minutes you will leave, and we will remain. Do not presume to judge us. Okay. That's fair, I guess. Should have at least been a trial. And there was, just not the kind you would recognise or perhaps approve of. He gestures to one of the bodyguards, and she hastens forward with your reward. Fulsome looks away. 100 shins. Goodbye. Well, hopefully there won't be any other murders then. But I want to go back and talk to the others again, just in case. B2. Good news. Folsom's people burst in here not long ago and hauled your suspect away. Justice has been done, I hope. I do hope you were certain that you didn't just guess. Well, I was as certain as I could be, I think. Find out if there are more murders, and we just start killing the others. You look like a ghostly woman I saw. Probably look like a lot of people. So what? I know her. I hate her. I found the source of the voice in your head. You shouldn't hear her anymore. You're right. I don't. Thank you. I will remember that you helped me. I know who I am now. I am what I have been. I am what I have been these last days. Oh no.
All right.
Oh well. We may have got the wrong person. Probably should have had that conversation with her before. But at least if there are more murders at all, then we know who to go back to. And if I end up, as I'm likely to end up playing this in other playthroughs by myself to see how some of the other options and things, how some of the other things go, then at least I can go and stab the correct person. Right, so how many points do we have? We've got 2, so what I want to do is put that up to that.
Did I learn that? Or remember it?
Did you learn it or remember it? Doesn't matter. Because I fucked up and chose the wrong person, apparently. Right, let's go for abilities. Yeah, let's rank up his fell swoop, because that's a good damaging power that he's got. He can smack a few people at once. Right, so that means that we've got two quests left. So we've got to settle the debt between Eritis and Master Renio. And then we've got to look for a way to proceed. But
Dear, you really should try for a more elegant pastime.
where are we? We're over here.
Revenge is so old-fashioned.
Oh, yes? And what do you live for?
Far more than a petty squabble over some relic of my past, I assure you.
See, now this seems to have bugged here from the suicide wall, but that's fine. Hopefully it'll disappear by the next one, because I think we will call it quits here, guys. And so, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you found this at all entertaining, then please drop us a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care.